Hey Libra, welcome to December. This is the end of 2021 and it is certainly ending off on a very loud note, on a bit of a crescendo here. And it really is promising to shake you at the very foundation of your being. So let's see what we have in store for you. Before we get too far into this video, my name is Michael. For those of you who are brand new to this channel, I want to welcome all of you back who are joining me again. I know it's been quite some time since I have been on YouTube and uploaded one of these videos. I'm super excited to see what we have in store for you. But before we dive in, I do just want to let you all know that I'm running my holiday sale. All of my services are currently 25% off on my website until December 21st. So if you are looking for a reading or Reiki session with me, now is a great time to book. I think that the new year is a great time to see what we have in store for us for the year ahead. So if you want to get a reading, now is the perfect time. All of my links are in the description box down below, as well as links for the astrology blog that accompanies this video. You can also find me on all of my other social media accounts and follow me there too. I do appreciate that. And let's see what we have in store for you for December. One of the reasons that December is so intense for you, Libra, is that your chart ruler Venus is going to be going retrograde on December 19th. Now, we've actually been in the pre-shadow phase since the last full moon, which incidentally wasn't an eclipse. We are in eclipse season as well, and we have another eclipse on the 4th. But this shadow period and this retrograde that we're having with Venus is really going to be affecting you because you're ruled by Venus. And Venus pertains to relationships, especially with Libra energy. It does also pertain to our sense of stability, our belongings, our comfort. Venus is really ultimately about attachments, if we're going to boil it down to the bolts and nuts of this planet, because it's the things we're attached to, it's the people we're attached to. And there's going to be a lot of reflection and review going on for the collective with that. And this is actually going to be kind of you piecing yourself apart during this time and figuring out what is and isn't working. That actually makes a lot of sense, kind of with the cards I've already drawn for you here. With the eclipse that we have happening in Sagittarius in 12 degrees on December 4th, we do have this wrapping up of a cycle that we've been in for over a year and a half, because that's where the eclipses have been, Sagittarius and Gemini. And that is also shifting this month with the North Node entering into Taurus on the 22nd, the day after the solstice, which means the South Node also shifts because the nodes, remember, are where the eclipses are occurring. So there's a lot of themes that are shifting this month. There's a lot of reasons why people keep saying that December is kind of an intense month astrologically, and it's all sort of leading up into the Pluto return of the United States in 2022, which is really going to be affecting the entire world. So there's a lot of things that are shifting. And I actually see here with the cards showing up in your past, we have the Two of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords, or the Son of Swords in this deck in particular. And it feels like there's just been a lot of movement. It's almost like things have been kind of moving really quickly. I get almost like a pinball machine, but what is that? It's not a pinball machine. It's like that toy where a bunch of like little metal balls will fall down all at once and you kind of have to catch them all at once. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? But anyway, it's like there's a lot of things moving. And you've really been trying to find your equilibrium here with this Two of Pentacles. And maybe that's just been very challenging with the Knight of Swords because things have been go, go, go. And with your ruling planet in Capricorn, you're definitely feeling that productivity. You're definitely feeling like you want to keep doing things. And perhaps there's this frustration with not being able to do as much as you want to do. Or perhaps you're trying to distract yourself with work. I could actually see that. And I think that's going to be something you're going to really, really be aware of in December. And some of you are probably already nodding your head like, yep, I know exactly all the ways I've been trying to distract myself. And why I say that is because what you've been learning from the past, which is going to be helping you in the future, you actually do have the Queen of Swords or Mother of Swords with the Death card. This is talking about Scorpio season and Libra energy. That's how I'm reading this. And I think in this past season, in the past month in particular, there is this serious change that's happening. The Death card is like on you because the Mother of Swords particularly rules over Libra energy. So there really is this big change and transformation, or it's just become very obvious to you how you need to change. And it's also interesting kind of thinking of Neptune going direct at the start of December. That actually happens on December 1st. Neptune is really a time where it's easy to relapse into old habits and behaviors. And for you, Libra in particular, it's happening in your 6th house, your house of routine and health. So it's really, really, really important that you take care of yourself this month. And you might even be worn down. You might have even gotten sick in the past month because you've just been go, go, go. And now you're kind of slowing down. I do actually see something really nice here happening this month with the Ace of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. There is money coming your way, or maybe you just feel like there is abundance that is coming your way. This makes a lot of sense to me because we have the nodes shifting into your 2nd and 8th house in particular. And what that really represents is finances, both your own individual finances and kind of investments as well as joint finances. So over the next year in 2022, there's going to be a lot of changes in your financial situation. And I actually thinking that is bringing some abundance. But with the Two of Wands here, this feels like, this feels a little bit down the road. And you might actually be getting your finances in order. That might be something that you are doing, thinking a lot about this month, which makes sense with your ruling planet in Capricorn. You're kind of coming up with a long-term plan. And maybe some of you are actually planning a trip. Maybe some of you are, also kind of just planning something for the future, planning a move potentially as well. Whatever this new start is, there's something about the future and potentially also distance with the Two of Wands. I do also think that there could be someone you are working with. You might be speaking to a financial advisor as well, or you might be learning about finances. Some of you could be learning about cryptocurrencies or things like that. Anything really, I could see that kind of manifesting for you. I do see as a potential change or challenge, not surprised to see the Two of Cups here, relationships are going to be on the forefront of your mind. And I think that's actually going to be on a lot of people's mind with Venus in retrograde, because Venus retrogrades are notorious for thinking about our past with relationships, the people we dated, our patterns, our habits, things that we may need to change in particular. And to be honest, I feel like some of you had to unplug or are in the process of unplugging yourself from other people to really get a sense of who you are. Because in the future, or the cards for the future, we have Justice and the Moon. There's a lot of exploration here. The Moon kind of represents unknown, uncertainty, darkness, needing to do shadow work. And Justice, again, is one of your cards. So we have the Mother of Swords and Justice, both cards that pertain to your energy, Libra, coming up with some pretty intense major arcana with the Death card and the Moon card, respectively. So there is a lot of shadow work that you are going to be doing this month. There's a lot of things that you're going to be exploring, and that makes so much sense to me with the North Node in your 8th house, which is the house of shadow work. That's going to be a major theme for you over the next year and a half. And you might have just gotten to this point where it's like, you've kind of repeated the same patterns over and over so many times where it's like, you know something needs to change. Something has to come to an end. And maybe this is about relationships, maybe this is about finances, maybe this is about work, maybe it's all of the above. The way you're living your life is going to be changing a lot. And so there is a lot of adjustment here. There are a lot of things that are shifting. And that makes so much sense because Pluto is also forming conjunction with Venus. Venus is actually going to be running past Pluto 3 times. The first time we're going to have a conjunction between Venus and Pluto in Capricorn on December 11th. The second time will be on Christmas, the 25th. And we'll have one more occurrence in January when it's going direct again. And so there really is a lot of transformation. And I'm actually kind of getting a vibe of sexual exploration for some of you too, like getting to know the parts of yourself that you've kind of kept in the closet. Maybe that is actually your orientation for some of you. Maybe you are stepping into a new sexual identity, or coming into that more, coming into yourself more in that way. That makes a lot of sense. There is going to be quite a bit of focus for you there as well. There could kind of be this sexual revolution that's happening over the next year in particular. And maybe that is even outside of the context of relationships. Maybe you're just coming into your own self, your own sexuality. And there could be a lot that you're kind of doing very internally here with the moon in kind of in the future here. And I want to tell you to really channel this energy creatively. Because to be honest, I do see the moon as kind of emotionally intense. And I think you actually are in the process of balancing this out, because justice is the scales, justice is balance. You're finding balance in the tides, in these different lunar forces. There is something that is adjusting here. You're kind of equalizing, or you're trying to equalize your emotions. And I think a really effective way for you to do that with Spider is through creativity, as well as even with this mouse energy. So Spider kind of makes sense with creativity because we're thinking of weaving the web. Spiders almost go into a trance when they're making a web, or there's just something so entrancing about watching them, especially those time-lapse videos of them just weaving these beautiful, intricate webs. You are creating something, and it could potentially even be bringing you abundance in the long run. You're creating a web for something to catch, or to catch something in the future. But with Mouse, there is a lot of nervous energy. And there was even part of me that was thinking, like, what's happening with this Virgo energy? And Mouse is actually Virgo energy to me, because Mouse is very detail-oriented. It's a little neurotic. It's a little fearful. It's always looking out for threats, kind of gathering what it needs and scurrying off. That sort of Mouse energy. If you feel like your mind is just working really quickly, or you're just feeling really anxious, it's important that you put this exacting eye into something that is worth your time. So this could be a creative project. Maybe you should be focusing more on making long-term plans and really being realistic with what's actually going to work for you. I do want to just kind of briefly mention as well, Mercury is going to be entering its pre-shadow phase right at the very end of December, so there could be a lot of things happening there with kind of like not being realistic or needing to readjust plans. Mercury retrograde is going to be kind of starting off this year, or next year, I should say. So isn't that just so much fun to look forward to? But that's really more for next month. That's not really going to be affecting you so much in December. One last thing that comes to mind too is Jupiter is entering into your 6th house in Pisces, and this is going to be potentially a good time for you to heal. So if you have been having a hard time with your health, or things have just felt like really challenging, like you're having a hard time holding a routine, that aspect is really going to be helpful for you. And I think specifically being creative, being in flow. The moon actually does represent Pisces energy as well. So this Pisces energy is very, very healing for you. And it is also very powerful energy, because Neptune goes direct in Pisces at the beginning of the month. Jupiter is entering Pisces. 2022 is actually going to be a very Piscean year, because both of those ruling planets are going to be spending most of the year in Pisces, especially Neptune. Jupiter is going to kind of dance in and out between Pisces and even into Aries, but back into Pisces by the end of the year. So there's a lot of Piscean energy, and that's going to be really, really healing for you. It's going to actually help you find joy again, and to just feel more optimistic and to feel better. Jupiter is the great benefic, and it really can be helpful for you kind of moving through these emotions. Because when I think of Libra and your 6th house being in Pisces, that does indicate mental health to me. So if you're a Libra rising in particular, your mental health might have been giving you some problems. You might have been having some issues with your mental health. I do feel like you are finding some balance here, and I think you are figuring out where to put your energy, how to put kind of your mind to good use if it feels like your mind has been working against you, which I can definitely see with the Knight of Swords here. And those are all the messages that I have for you, Libra. I do hope that this video was helpful and resonant for you. Be sure to hit like and subscribe if it was. Let me know in the comment section down below what in particular resonated with you or what stood out to you. I'd love to hear it. I always think those synchronicities are super interesting. I know that this time of year is really challenging for many of you, and my heart goes out to anyone who is struggling or feeling lonely during this time of year. I'm wishing you a very happy, safe, and healthy December. All of my links, again, are available in the description box down below, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.